There once was a man who had given up on life. He found no joy in his work, in his family, or his community. And so he prayed to God, "Let me leave this world. I am done. There is nothing left for me here. Show me the way to paradise." And God asked him, "Are you sure that's what you want?" The man replied, "I am sure with all my heart. Show me the way to paradise." "Very well," replied God, who showed him the way and drew a map. As it turned out, paradise was not so far away, just a few days' journey from his village. So late one afternoon, he set out on his way, and he walked, and he walked, and he walked until nightfall, and it got dark. He couldn't see, and he thought, okay, I am going to rest beneath this tree, and when the sun comes up, I will start again. And just before he fell asleep, it occurred to him that in the morning he might get confused, and he wouldn't know which way he'd come from and which way he was going. And so he took his shoes, he put them beside the path, pointing in the direction he was supposed to walk. And then he fell asleep. But sometimes stuff happens. Stuff happens that we don't entirely understand. Shoes get turned around. Was it an imp? Was it an angel? Was it a squirrel? Either way, when he woke up, his shoes were turned around, but he didn't know that. And so he rose and he put his shoes on and he ate some breakfast that he was carrying with him, and he went on his way in the direction that the shoes were pointing. By noon, he saw a village. He saw a village over a hill, and he thought, wow, I've arrived in paradise. That was really quick. I must have made excellent time. I've arrived in paradise, and he ran the rest of the way. He was so excited to get to paradise. What a beautiful place is paradise, he thought. My village was always so crowded, and it was so noisy. This is different. It's filled with the noise of life and of joy. And he sat down on a bench in the square, and he witnessed the life of the village. And he heard the songs that the children were singing at school and the sounds of the adults at work. And he felt the energy, the life, and the love that filled that village. And he sat in that square all day appreciating. In the evening, he heard the joyful sounds of families reunited at home, and he smelled the meals that were being enjoyed in each home by each family, and he started to feel hungry. He thought, since paradise looks so much like my village, I wonder if there's a street in paradise like my street. And so he went to look. Just where he thought it might be, that's where he found it. And he thought, I wonder if there's a house in paradise like my house. And just where he thought it might be, there it was. And just as he was wondering, how could this be? This is amazing. A woman came to the door. A woman who bore a striking resemblance to his wife. The woman called his name and asked him to come in for dinner. His heart leapt. They know me in paradise. There is a place set for me here in paradise. God must have told them I was coming. He said that out loud, and the woman responded, I don't know what's in paradise, but your soup is getting cold at home. Come inside. He entered the house. The home in paradise was nothing like his house in the village. That house was always crowded, cluttered, filled with commotion. This place was cozy and homey and filled with life. He sat at the table and ate the best meal he'd ever had. He complimented the woman on her heavenly soup. Afterward, he went up to his bedroom and entered the deepest, most restful sleep he had ever known. In the morning, The woman who looked like his wife handed him his tools and sent him to work. At first, the man was incredulous. Who ever heard of working in paradise? But then it occurred to him that even in paradise, there were tasks to be done. And he found that this work was different from the work that he'd done at home. No, it wasn't dull and it wasn't tedious. It filled him with a sense of purpose. And at night, he returned to the same warm and loving home, the same kind woman who looked like his wife, and more of that heavenly, wonderful soup. Do you know that in all the years that followed, no one could convince the man that he had not made it to paradise? Every one of his days from then on was filled with more wonder and more purpose and more joy and more life and more gratitude than ever before. I tell this story the day after Thanksgiving. We give thanks for what we have. We give thanks for what we have in our lives. We can always want more. We can always want different. We can always want better. And sometimes all it takes is a little journey and our shoes getting turned around to come home and see it through a different light and different eyes. And the clutter turns into coziness. And the noise turns into sounds of life. So if you ever are feeling overwhelmed, try taking a walk, taking a nap, turning your shoes around, and coming home again. Shabbat shalom.